option, the only real option in the early game, but you got to find ways to use them and make them useful. Very versatile units, so try to do your best. Also, note one thing. The human has still not started his tech, and Fury is halfway to Tier 3. By slowing the expansion, you are effectively slowing his tech, regardless of how you're doing, just because you're making him cost more lumber to build things and whatnot. Also, you want to get the Panda versus pretty much any human Expo army. He's great against the workshop units, and without him, it's almost impossible to beat gyrocopters with undead-based armies. Anyways, so he's pretty much done harassing the Expo now. There's not really too much he can do. Towers are up, the Expo's up. So the human player, once this has happened, is going to go and immediately push your base, almost all the time. They want to screw with you. They want to mess you up, take you out of your game, and stall for their expansion to get up, for them to get all their towers up. One of the easiest ways to get rid of the human is to whack on his Archmage. Pretty effective. You really have to get him out of your base as quickly as possible, because if you notice, the Death Knight has a sacrificial skull on him. While you can try a Garg push or Destro push, it's usually not a very safe bet, unless you're really sure you can push down the base, like you slowed it a lot. And, you didn't slow it too much. So, now, take note of the fact that Zorthane is about to throw up a shit ton of towers. He's going to have a ton of towers here in a second. And one of the reasons is because he sees... I don't know if he actually saw the double slaughterhouse. No, he didn't. But he did see that he was Tier 3, and a very quick Tier 3, and already making statues. So, what that is, it's kind of a red flag to the human player that, oh god, he's a really quick Tier 3. He's probably going to Destro push me. So that means that the human player is going to want to make a ton of towers so he can survive the Destro push, because human players know that if you Destro push and fail, you're probably going to lose the game more often than not, because you spend so much resource and time Destro pushing when you're at 7 gold income to his 20 gold income, because you're in upkeep with 1 gold mine. He's not in upkeep with 2 gold mines. So Destro push and fail, you're usually going to lose the game. But no, what Fury's actually done is, I don't know if this is intentional necessarily, but it really looks like he's going to Destro push, when in actuality, he's just going to come and counter Expo. Note that the human is just kind of dinking around. He's going to make a Sapper raid, and he's going to go for some Zigs, but he sees that he's got 3 towers in his base, so he just detonates it on the shop. Remember that your shop is what allows you to make statues and destroyers, and the destroyer upgrade, so please be careful with that. I recommend building it a little more protected than Fury had in this game. Yes, I know he's pro, I'm not, whatever. Still a good point. So, that's all fun. Basically, now that you've got this Expo up, your next order of business is to go and creep your heroes up as high as you freaking can. The human armies that you're going to face, a lot of them are really freaking hard to beat without high-level heroes. Especially gyrocopters, and in particular, the undead hero army is not particularly great at fighting those, but a panda, especially once he hits level 3, and oh god, once he hits level 5, is going to rape that shit. So, creep near your Expo until it gets up and whatnot, otherwise you're just going to have a pain in the ass. And you kind of just have to play on the defensive and counter the human's harassment of choice. You're going to see Zorthane is going to make some Zeppelin harassment pretty quick here. And you just kind of got to know how to deal with that, learn how to deal with that. In this case, Fury is just going to keep creeping while he lets his Sapper, or not his Sapper, his Shredder and whatnot deal with it. Oh, I don't think I mentioned this before, but I'm pretty sure Fury got that Shredder from Zorthane's mercenary, or his Goblin Lab, because it has a pretty long cooldown, and humans love to get that Shredder, and it's a really nice thing to have for them. So once you jack that, they don't get it, and it sucks for them. So yeah, it's nice for the undead, but I think it's more that it just sucks for the human, and it's kind of one way to screw him over. Okay, so notice that he's pushing this Expo. Fury is going to come over here and be like, bitch, get the fuck out of my Expo, yo. Yeah, that's right, that's right. There's not really too much to say about that, just Oh, actually, right here, I don't know why, but Fury doesn't blow a coil on that Archmage. I really think he should have, just because, like, he's not going to be like, oh god, if only I had that 100 or that 75 mana. Oh no, I'm going to lose the game. But at the same time, this Archmage can kind of just come back right away without running away to heal. So, anyway, one really nice thing. When you're creeping at this point in the game, try to creep out gold mines, because there's going to be a point in a little while here where you'll want to expand again. This camp in particular is really nice to creep with destroyers, because one of the things that's really strong about it is that it's got inner fire and bloodlust, but destroyers take that and just turn it into more damage. So, very hot. If you've got destroyers, it's a great camp to creep. Zorthane, like I said earlier, is coming in for his Zeppelin Parades. Fury's just gonna kind of back off and heal it up and deal with it without his army, because it is only an Archmage and a Footman. So the Water Elementals, yeah, whatever. But he is gonna be able to deal with it. And it's only level 3 Archmage; it's not level 5, so he's good. Does his Destroyer's back? I don't remember him doing that. Anyway, okay, so right about now is a point in the game where you're going to have to start thinking of a couple things. You're going to have to start looking and trying to find out what kind of army the human is trying to build. You see now he's making gyrocopters. A lot of times, one of the reasons that gyros are kind of the best option for this human is, though they're not really a great option, is because his tech was so slow that he couldn't really get tanks. Like, he still wouldn't have a single tech unit made had he tried to go for tanks. Like, yeah. So you got to figure out what kind of army he's trying to make and counter it. If he's going for gyrocopters, your best counter is just to creep, really, because the Panda is kind of your get out of jail free card when it comes to fighting against gyrocopters. There's not really too much you can do in the way of units. Really cool thing. Check this out, right? Fury destroyed the Zeppelin with his destroyers, Zorthane's Zeppelin. So Zorthane was over the water, and he's going to TP out, but he's going to TP right here and just get nuked. So, very hot, blew up a Zeppelin and a TP and the hero. So, that was pretty hot. That was just kind of for awesome factor. Yeah. The other thing you gotta pay attention to is the human going to try and expand again? You watch out for that. I recommend having shades. He has not gone for shades. I think one of the things is you gotta be careful of shades because gyros can detect them, which sucks, but, just play smart, and they're not that expensive. So, once you've got the lumber for it, and he's got a shredder, so lumber's not a problem. There's really no reason he shouldn't have shades right now. I wonder if he does, and I'm just like an idiot. No. Oh, yeah, he does have a shade. I'm an idiot. Guess I just didn't see that before. Anyway, notice that Fury is going to go ahead and start up a second expansion. And there's a couple of reasons why. One is he's got such high hero levels that for the human to fight him outside of his base is not going to work very well. And Fury kind of knows that. His early game has forced the human to harass very hard. And which means that the human has not been leveling his heroes at all. Fury has the complete hero advantage. He's got utter map control. He's been equal resource for a large part of the game. The human expansion hasn't really paid off too much, considering all the towers he's built to defend it and whatnot. So Fury's got that advantage. And so if he throws up the second expo, it's not really because, Undead can counter their buildings very easily, and he only has to send one Acolyte up there to do it. So, with 2 gold mine income, he's not really putting himself too far out there when it comes to risk. So